So William and Charles have decided to send their minions to tell us or gaslight the public into how saddened and perplexed they are because Harry dared to fight back against their lies. They hear that Harry had to correct the lies. Harry fired back. They thought that, let's just roll with it. Let's lie. And Harry will just sit there saying nothing. No, gone are the days when Harry is going to let shit slide. This time, he's very handsy. He's not going to let you guys lie on him and think you can get away with it. No, he's setting the record straight. And I love how the internet is applauding him for that. And of course, how the internet is applauding his communications team. They are not playing. They're not playing. And it's sad for William because he can no longer lie about his brother and get away with it. Because his brother is going to fight back and is going to debunk those lies. So now, one of the minions has decided to write an article telling us how Charles and William or the palace sources or insiders are perplexed, are saddened by Harry's behavior. And they're like, the gaslighting is off the roof, you guys. Let me just start by that. The gaslighting is something else. So you have Kate Manzi says, New, the palace is understood to be saddened and perplexed by the latest accusation from the Duke of Sussex, in which he suggested that sources close to the king have attempted to sabotage his fragile reconciliation with the king. Oh my god, the gaslighting, the fact that Harry spoke up and debunked their lies, that means they're perplexed when they are the ones who made that leak. Anyway, I have the article. Let's read it and then we can break it down, right? Because it's so hilarious. So, King Charles perplexed by Prince Harry's accusation of sabotage. The Duke of Sussex spokesman claimed details of the father and son meetings were being leaked to the media to prevent reconciliation. The palace has been left saddened and perplexed by Prince Harry's latest claim that the institution is sabotaging the relationship with his father, the king. The Duke of Sussex appeared to accuse courtiers of leaking information about a meeting with his father this month amid reports that the prince had claimed men in grey suits were responsible. The news has been met with disappointment by friends of the king. A royal source said the reality is that senior aides have been working behind scenes to improve what is a delicate but important private family relationship. On September 10th, the Duke saw the king for what was described as a private tea at Clarence House. The 50-minute meeting was the first time that the king had met with his younger son for 19 months. Afterwards, the Duke appeared relaxed, telling guests at a charity reception in London that his father was great. However, a report appeared in The Sun on Saturday that said the meeting had been distinctly formal, with the Duke reportedly describing the reunion as very official, like an official visit. Harry's office denied this and instead accused palace sources of sabotaging the reconciliation between father and son by suggesting that they had leaked the information to the press. His spokesman said recent reporting of the Duke's view of the tone of the meeting is categorically false. The quotes attributed to him are pure invention, fed, one can only assume, by sources intent on sabotaging any reconciliation between father and son. Then the Sun revealed that during the 50-minute meeting, gifts were exchanged, including a framed family photograph, which included an image of the couple with their children Archie, 6, and Lilibet, 4. The Duke's spokesman said that presumably some sources had revealed the detail of the gift to the press. They added, while we would have preferred such details to remain private, for the sake of clarity, we can confirm that a framed photograph was handed over. However, the image did not contain the Duke and Duchess. The Duke has made no secret of the fact that he has long believed that men in grey suits at the palace have conspired against him and previously against his mother, the late Princess Diana. Nesbe Morse Spare, the Duke accused 3 courtiers, whom he named Bee, Wasp, and Fly, of acting to force him out of his royal role. I'd spent my life dealing with courtiers, scores of them, he said, but now I dealt mostly with just 3, or middle-aged white men who'd managed to consolidate power through a series of bold Machiavellian maneuvers. He used the autobiography and interviews to publicize the book, to criticize members of his family, including his stepmother, the queen, and his brother, whatever. And then the rest is bullshit. So it turns out Charles is perplexed that Harry debunked the lies. You know what's sick? Instead of this man coming forward and actually putting out a statement saying, hey, please, because remember, a lot of people kept saying that it's Harry who's leaking. Then when Harry debunked these lies, they started doubling down, saying, okay, well, it might be his family that's doing the leaking. Like, honestly, it might be the family doing the mating. That's the leaking. And never once has Charles come forward to say, hey, no, stop, it's not Charles, whatever. He's actually now saying that he is perplexed, that he is saddened. And I think William is also furious that Harry dared to debunk the lies, because they thought he's just going to run with them, like he's going to be quiet. And again, this has just proven so many times that Harry has always been right, that his family are not to be trusted. They're the ones who constantly leak to the press. When you hear sources, that just translates to William, Mumbles, Carmel, or Charles. That's just what translates to this, or they're imaginary, like made up. So you're perplexed, you're saddened, and you've not even defended your son. Mind you, this meeting took place between you and your son, so you know the details of what happened, and you've not said a word to debunk these lies until your son came forward. And what, you are gaslighting us to believe that you're saddened that he dared to defend himself? These people are nuts. Honestly, it's sick. And the way they're sending their minions to gaslight the public, to blaming Harry, that it was wrong for Harry to debunk those lies, that's insane. That is really insane, honestly. Anyway, some comments on how people are reacting to Kate Manzi's article. Mimi says, Prince William, Kate Middleton's staff courtiers have been leaking for years and years against Prince Harry and Meghan. Your article just makes Charles and William look weak. They are unable to clean that royal institution and stop people from attacking his own son. Very well said. Trevor says, translation. The palace is saddened that figures within the royal family have once again leaked lying narratives about Harry, and instead of keeping quiet about it, he has called out their lies and corrected the narrative. So Kate Manzi embarks on some gaslighting for them. Saris says, if the palace is perplexed, they should investigate who the source at the palace was that passed info to the son. Well said. Turanga says, he literally said, whoever talked to the son isn't me. Check your people. They seem to be working against you. Maybe ask the son who their sources are instead of being perplexed. Chuck? Harold says, translation. Prince William's team is fooling no one with their briefing, and certain royal stenographers are trying to point Kensington Palace communications and their machinations as something less blatant and sloppy by trying to make Prince Harry appear paranoid. Zainab says, so it's okay for the palace to leak stuff and put words on Harry's mouth to make it look like Harry is leaking. But when Harry denies it, the palace is saddened about what exactly? The palace clearly leaks because how did the press know that there were gifts and framed photograph? Joe says, perhaps talk to your colleagues at The Sun and how come the palace are commenting on this and not on Fergie. The palace is a disgrace. New Zealand says, what are they saddened about really? The leaks came from the palace itself. Mimi says, it's insane. It hasn't fully sunken in UK. Prince William and palace courtiers are using government machinery to methodically target and try to destroy the Sussex family, using taxpayers' money, sycophantic media, and weaponized petty gossips and overblown innuendos abuse of power. Then Tony says, he didn't accuse courtiers of leaking information. That was Tom Sykes. He just said somebody is trying to sabotage his relationship with his father and he will be correct. Why would he leak information to the Sun? For the Sun to contact his office for a reply to his own leak. That's very true. I agree. That's very true. Henry says, lol. There's so much gaslighting in this response. Firstly, Harry did not name the people who leaked. So the men in grey suits saying he was referring to them is their own confession. Secondly, it's pretty clear that the meeting details were leaked. So why are they perplexed? D says, why is the king perplexed? Did he think the lying and leaking from those palace were just going to stop? This is the beast they created. I'm glad Harry is defending himself. So glad. Then onwards says, not new, Billy Idol is spreading more lies for the journalist to peddle in order to cover his total uselessness. Sweet says, then who the F are the palace sources? Morons. And Luck says, when Charles is gone, you'll be left with useless William and boring Kate, and the monarchy will continue to crumble. You lot made up news, and Harry didn't accuse anyone close to the king. And Sweet Mind says, man, the level of gaslighting on here is quite something. First, they leak some bunch of morons, then are saddened and perplexed by when leaked stories are being corrected. Get the F out of here. R says, Prince Harry just had tea and cake with his father since Prince William has been leaking, planting stories, and briefing the press. Prince William is not Charles' only son. Our courtier is trying to sabotage a son to meet his sick father and grandchildren to know their grandpa. Despicable. Caroline says, saddened and perplexed. Really? You are very useful stooge, Kate. Doing the palace's bidding to mop up damage to their reputation caused by Harry correcting the record. The palace has been briefing lies to the press about Harry, and Harry has responded. He knows who's doing this. I think they just wanted Harry to be quiet about it. They thought they can make up these lies, and then Harry will just, okay, not say a word. Then he fired back, and they're scrambling, like, oh, to gaslight the public. And to like, no, it's still Harry. Oh, Harry, why did you do that? Look, Charles is really saddened. You did that. You debunked the lies. Come on. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, to like and to share this video. I'm Erupts. I love you guys so much. Be blessed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.